Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chip, and in today's video we are doing a palette tag video. So I've got my palette questions, I have my palettes, so if you're interested to hear the questions and see my answer via palettes, stay tuned and let's jump in. So before you get started, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down below and also click the bell so you're notified when I post a video to my channel. And I'm really active on my Instagram and my Twitter, so I'll leave all that social media goodness, platform information down in the description box. So with that being said, let's dive into this video because I actually am really excited to share with you guys my palette answers. Fun tag. So this video is a collaboration with two creators here on YouTube. First, we have Ariel from Always Ariel. She actually invited me to do this video with her, and I'm super excited. So Ariel's channel is very makeup focused. She does a lot of unboxings of her Ipsy, some try-ons, first impressions, tutorials, collaborations. She's just a well-rounded makeup channel and also very sweet, kind-hearted, and down-to-earth. I love you so much, Ariel. And the second creator is Christine from FabFitMama. Christine does everything and beyond on her channel. If you want cooking videos, if you want makeup videos, skincare, chit chats, live streams, whatever it may be, check out Christine. She's got you covered. And Christine just has that like soft mama touch to her video. I absolutely love you, honey. So thank you for collabing with us. And with that, let's go to question number one. Question number one, show your newest palette. All right, so my newest palette would be this one. Now this is the matte book, and this is from the Crayon Case Cosmetics. This is an Instagram Black-owned business company, and I love it. This definitely just plays to my nerdy school side, so I definitely picked this up. I was eyeing this palette for some time, and it was always out of stock, but it finally came back, and it's cute. It's large, and it opens up like a book. It's just like a nerd, makeup nerd dream. Like everything about this palette is so cute. I love the color story of this palette. If you like color, if you're not afraid to use a lot of colors, this is definitely up your alley. And you also have some very neutral browns here at the bottom to help deepen up some looks and also make this a very versatile everyday palette as well. But this is my newest baby to my palette collection. Again, the matte book from the Crayon Case. So the next question is, show your oldest palette. Are you guys ready for this? Now this palette is before I even started YouTube. Okay, before I even was like getting into makeup pretty seriously, before I even knew how to apply makeup. This is the before time, okay? This is the BH Cosmetics collaboration with Judy. It's Judy time. Do you guys remember this palette? Oh my gosh, it is... I don't use it anymore because I honestly think this is... I wouldn't put this on my eyes anymore because this is the oldest thing in my collection, but I keep it because of that nostalgic memory of this is where it all began with this little palette. Not crazy, you know, but definitely more on the neutral side. I definitely could do a lot of practice with this palette. This is how it all began. This is where Chip started, was with BH Cosmetics, It's Judy Time palette, and I will never throw this away. I'm not using it anymore, but I'll never throw it away. Third question, show us your most expensive palette. So I have two palettes from the same company because they're the exact same price, and these are the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. So these I think retailed for $125 or $9 type of price range, and these both are the same price and both are the most expensive palette in my collection. So we have the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, which is more of like your golden, your browns, your reds, your yellows type of vibe. Think of a sunset, it's in this palette. This is a kind of a mixture of mattes and shimmers. Everyday, I would say this is like a really good everyday palette if you really like those like yellowy orangey tones. And the next palette is the Natasha Denona Lila or Lila palette, whichever one you want to say it as. But this is more of the purpley tone. So purple, pinks, you have some mauve tones in there. This is like a pop of like a duochrome green type of shade. Really pretty. And again, a mixture of mattes and shimmer shades. So yeah, Natasha Denona definitely is the most expensive brand in my collection. I I think the price is, it's too much. It's too high for the palette. Definitely now that I'm getting into more indie brands, I see that I can definitely get this same and even better, I want to say, type of performance with cheaper price tags. But back in the day when I was starting out, you know, I just didn't really know where to go, and Natasha Denona was all the hype when I was getting into makeup, so of course I wanted to try her. I do like this palette. There's nothing wrong with them. The formula is great, the payoff is great, but just my financial, you know, little bird in the background, they are cheaper alternatives out there that can perform just as well as this can. But they are cute. Next is show us your most affordable palette. Now this one was a little hard because it was between Juvia's Place or ColourPop, and so I just went ahead and picked ColourPop. So I have a couple of ColourPop palettes. I just picked one of them. This is the Cute AF palette. Again, this is you know, those sunset colors. So that's what I was saying, like ColourPop shades and Natasha Denona. Very expensive. Great pigmentation, great color, great payoff. Very, very inexpensive, great pigmentation, great color payoff, and just works just as well. So same color story, just cheaper. So this is my, I'm gonna pick this as my most inexpensive palette in my collection, which would be the ColourPop brand. Next question, show your everyday palette. Okay, everyday palette for me isn't necessarily a palette per se. They're singles. So these are singles from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, the everyday shades, when I do an everyday look, I really just gravitate towards these 3 or 4 colors right here. I made this kind of like Z palette singles a very, very long time ago. And I think this was when the singles were like in stock, or like on sale I should say. But when I want to do an everyday look, I really just pop on like this shade, which is Sienna. Yep, I'll pop on Sienna like all over the lid. I can blend it out with chocolate. If I want to do like noir just to really deepen it up, I can. And then this top shade up here, which I'm about to hit pan on, is caramel. And this is also just one of those like under the brow type of shades for me. So really these 4 and maybe this shade here are my everyday go-to. So for an everyday look, I kind of just gravitate towards this single Z palette because it's just easier. All right, next question is show your most colorful palettes. So I picked 2 different palettes because I couldn't decide. So here they are. First, I have the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette and the Glam Light Cake palette. So of course we've seen what the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker looks like. We have the rainbow of all rainbow with pastels in here. Definitely it screams color. Now this palette I do have problems working with just because of the pastels and my skin tone. I have to use a white base to just help these colors perform. But other than that, this is just like one of those really colorful drawn palettes. And if I'm looking for just one shade that I don't have anywhere else, I usually gravitate towards this palette. And for the Glam Light Cake palette, I mean, come on. So cute. So this is one of the newest, well, second newest palettes that she came out with, and it's cake. She did this one in celebration of her company's birthday, and look at just how cute that is. Again, a very colorful palette. I'm just drawn to just, you know, the different types of looks you can do with it. A variety of finishes, mattes, metallics, shimmers. Like, it's just one of those very versatile, colorful themed palettes. All right, and the next question is show us your smallest palette. So I picked the Too Faced. Now this is the Hot Buttered Rum palette. I absolutely am obsessed with the Too Faced like little tin palettes. Dare I say I love to collect them. I just love them. They're just so adorable. So when it's usually like the holiday season is when they come out with them, and I'm always just on the hunt for them. So this one, smells amazing. I give props to Too Faced for their scented palettes. They really do know how to make a scented palette. But here is the palette. It's so cute and tiny. Definitely more for like the winter, fall time, an everyday look type of palette. Oh, It smells so good. When I smell this, it just reminds me of Christmas time. Like, it's the cinnamon, it's the eggnog, it's like just that Christmassy smell. So cute, so tiny. It does have a mirror, and it is just, did I already say cute? Because it's the cutest thing ever. All right, and the next question is, show us your largest or biggest palette. Now, I couldn't decide, so I went ahead again and picked 2 palettes. So first we have the Glamlite Pizza palette. I mean, look at the size of this palette. It's like my full face. It's huge. And then we also have the Morphe palette. Now, this is the this is the 39S Such a Gem palette. So I couldn't decide because this one has more colors, but this one is just much larger. So I don't know. So whichever way you want to take it is the way you're going to take it. So first, let's look at the Morphe one, which has more color options. So this is more of your purpley themed palette. I mean, it is large. I think there's like 39 shades or something in this palette. I do keep this lip because the names are on here, which is kind of annoying. I wish they would just print it on their palettes. But this is just one of those like purple pink dreams, and that's why I got it. I really need to use this more actually, because I really love purples on my skin tone, but this is just one of those, like, oh my gosh, the finishes in here, you've got like pressed glitters, metallics, shimmers, mattes. Like, it is just one of those stunning palettes. So if you have this palette, let me know how you have been liking it, because it definitely it's such a gorgeous palette. And of course, the Glamlite Pizza palette, large and in charge. This is what started my Glamlite obsession. Just the creativity and the packaging. I'm a pizza lover. I'm a pizza obsessor. So this was like right up my alley. But when I first got this, I was like, oh my gosh. They put so much time and thought into their packaging alone. And then when you open it up, it looks like pizza slices. So I do have the slip still. It does come with a mirror, bends back. And here are the shades in the palette. I like it because I feel like each slice, you can kind of create like its own look with each slice, you know? Like, I feel like I can see that. I can see each slice as its own look. But you can also dive and mix and match and all that good jazz. So again, this palette is a mixture of mattes and shimmers, some metallics, and some, you know, bright neon shades. So this definitely is just an obsession type of palette. But I couldn't decide between which one is bigger. So you guys let me know down below. Do you go bigger based on eyeshadow count or based on palette size? Let me know. Next question is, show the palette with the best memory attached to it. And this one also, I was like, oh, do I want to show the one where I used it like on my wedding day, or do I want to show the one where I used it when Travis proposed to me? So I decided to go with the palette where Travis proposed to me. So the palette that I was using at the time, and the day that it happened, because that's just like where our journey started as a couple, and I will never get rid of this palette. It's just like the It's Judy Time palette. Like, it's just one of those that I'll never get rid of. So this is the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette. Now this, I was filming a review. I did a first impression, did swatches, and I'll still go back to that video and watch it, and I'm like, I had no idea it was coming. No idea what was coming after this video. So this is a all shimmer type of palette from Urban Decay, and I still have the same thoughts on this palette. This is not, for me, a standalone. I do have to dip into mattes for my preference on eye looks, but the shimmers in here are stunning. The pigmentation is stunning. Urban Decay, it's still that formula that I love from Urban Decay. I just need mattes to like have a complete look in my head. So the next question is, what palette is worth all the hype? All the hype. All right. I have a lot of palettes. And I've bought a lot of palettes that have been hyped, and I would say I, you know, dove on to that bandwagon. But this one, I feel like I dove on that bandwagon and I stand by it. So this is the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. You guys, if you love blues, this palette is a blue dream. Just I can't I don't know. I can't explain it. But this is just one of those palettes where I don't have a fault. I don't have a fault. I love the packaging. Well, I guess the fault would be that it might be a little too bulky for some people. I like it. It fits fine in my drawers. But I love the colors. I love the Jeffree Star Cosmetics formula in eyeshadows. The diamond like metallic finishes are just so dreamy. They're so creamy. They're so pigmented. They're just stunning. I freaking love this palette, and I love blues on all skin tones. This is just one of those palettes that like, oh, I will never regret buying. It was worth the hype to me. It was worth the hype. It was worth the coins. It was worth it to me. Okay, and the next question is, which palette is not worth all the hype? So for me, it would be this one right here. So this is the Mystic Unicorn, and this is a palette by Bombshell Cosmetics. Now, the reason this is not with the hype is because the company itself made it that way. I feel like I wanted this palette initially because of, one, yes, the colors in here are like super, super pretty. But it was just like an interesting packaging. It was an interesting theme. I just, you know, I was like, oh, I don't have a palette like that. And I don't have a palette that opens up like this, even though I hate this now. Like, it's like the worst kind of packaging to me. But the company itself is really horrible with customer service, really horrible with shipping, really horrible with just horrible. And it's sad to say because I wanted to like them so bad, because at first I really liked their theme, I really liked their aesthetic, but they really ruined it for me on their side of it, which really ruined it on the product side of it. So the second to last question is, show your favorite palette from your favorite brand. So if you've been watching me for some time now on my channel, you guys know I'm obsessed with Glamlight. I am just over the moon obsessed. I buy everything they drop. I'm obsessed. So from the Glamlight collection, my favorite palette would have to be the Paint palette. And this just hits so many check marks for me. It hits it on the color story because it's just one of those like rainbow themed palettes. You get every color that you could think of in a palette. You get mattes, you get shimmers, you get metallics, and then you also get the creativity of like it being a paint design. So like if you want to keep your thumb in here, you can. Like it's so creative. Now I just sit mine down when I do a makeup look. I never hold it like this when I'm doing a look, but honestly, like, you can. When I saw this at first, I was like, who would have thought of this? Who would have thought of making a palette, a color palette themed palette? Like, it's just, it blew my mind. I really love it. I love like the woody texture here, and it just looks like you're holding different paint pots with different paint colors in here, but it's eyeshadow. But yeah, so from my favorite company, Glamlight, this would be my favorite palette. So if you have anything from Glamlight, let's chat below. What is your favorite palette from that company? All right, and here is the last question. So the last question, show your most used palette. Hard question, you guys. This was so hard for me because I dive into different palettes almost every day. I love trying out different palettes. I love trying out different companies, different formulas. So it's really hard for me. So instead of it being eyeshadow, I went to highlighter because that's something that I can use more consistently of one thing, because it's like I just forget to, oh, I've got other highlighters, because I don't have that many highlighters. So this would be the highlighter palette that I guess I use more frequently than any other highlighter in my collection. That's how I'm going to phrase this question. So this is the Starlight Sparkle Highlighter Palette. And here are the shades. This was a palette gifted to me by CP Fashion Cosmetics, or Caitlin. And all the shades in here really are stunning on my skin tone. This is kind of like one of those blinding this is one of those like blinding highlighter palettes for me. So I would have to say, out of all my highlighters, I would dive into this the most. But as far as eyeshadow palettes, I sat there for like a whole day, like what am I gonna say? Because there isn't a eyeshadow palette that I can say that about. All right, so that completes this video, and I really hope you enjoyed my answers, but this is a tag. So who am I gonna tag? I'm gonna tag you guys. So first we have the Makeup Mafia group. You heard me. We got Jamie from Confessions of a Makeup Addict. We got Sherry from Sherry Ward, Kimberly L, Nona from My So-Called Life in 1977. I wanna see you guys do this video. And who else am I gonna tag? Marlo from Marlo Keenan. I wanna see you do this video. Chrissy from Chrissy Glam, #GlamFam. I wanna see you do this video. Who else? Everyone, Anya Stamper, Debbie Knobloch, Delaney from Death and Candy 27. I want to see you guys do this video. So, if I tagged you, I'm watching. So, but really, if you want to do this video and I didn't tag you, please do this video. Robin from Robin's Safe Place. Okay, please do this video because I just love to see everyone's answers. These are so fun. Kaylee Wesley, I want to see you do this video. I will be here forever naming channels, so I better get off. I will see you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down below. And I love you guys. Thanks for spending some time with me, and till next time, bye. Mwah.